Wait a minute, where is it? Oh. That's weird. Is it like on my screen, I guess? Yeah. I think I got it. That's what I want to look at. No. Ooh. Hold it steady, Allison. Where's it? Hi guys. Sorry, I didn't realize. I don't expect anybody to be like ever even showing up, so I like, don't even think about that. I realize that this is like zooming in on a camera that's a large scene, and so the anomalies of light can look, really, they can look distorted, and it's just people and like boats and stuff. I get it, I get it. But the reason why I'm documenting it is because I've been documenting the orbs that are on the shores. They're on the shorelines. They hang off the coast, and it's like they're looking around with their excuse me, like a big flashlight, but it's not a flashlight. It's a really powerful light, and it has various colors of the light, and you can see them moving in over terrain that a person can't walk in the same time parameter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm documenting these orbs that are off the shores. I've documented, for example, off of Chile. Okay, we're talking, this Earth is a big place, and we're small people, right? So you can zoom in on a small little itsy bitsy island out there in the middle of nowhere, but it's still big for like us, I mean, the shore and like what's off the shore is a long distance to us. Okay, so that these orbs there's millions and billions of them off the coast of Chile, and they're connected to one another, and you can see them. I mean, it's very interesting, to say the least. So to my understanding, these light orbs are living light orbs. I've even documented them. These light orbs that look like they're, maybe they're just people with a flashlight. Sure. Well, looking at them and you see them morph into what looks like a standing person, and then pop out of existence, and move over there and move over here, just really in time parameters that a person couldn't cover the distance. You know what I'm saying? So. And why is that important information? Well, I'll tell you. Because, first of all, I think that would be awesome for the people who make it into the light gates to receive an orb, to be able to scoot and boot around. And I believe that it's the way that the orbs are created, designed, I guess, from what I understand. It's a cube inside of a sphere that allows all those fractal sides, and therefore then the sphere to make it bigger and smaller. Like it literally violates the man's laws of physics, but it's not because it can't be done. It's because man's laws of physics don't accommodate this dimensional light, I guess you could say, being, force. And so since I'm basically standing up to the world, because they're pieces of shit that want to lie about everything just to death profile everyone, because they are led by a demon spirit that wants to destroy the actual real world and make a fake digital one. And I'm here to stand up against it on behalf of the people, and mostly on behalf of the children, and then the children's mothers, and then the truth speakers. Well, the children and the truth speakers and the mothers of them that are, oh, that is beautiful. So I believe that that these orbs are going to be here to help us. That's what I've asked for, so I'm going to stick to it. I'm asking for it. Imagine if everybody had one. All of a sudden, there wouldn't be any housing issues. Oh, that's cool. All of a sudden, there wouldn't be any housing issues. All of a sudden, there wouldn't be transportation issues. It would basically be a self. Its energy is gotten from the surrounding environment, and it's a major upgrade. to be able, and imagine, this is what I'm imagining, like this orb should be able to take me under the water, should be able to take me into the sky, should be able to take me wherever I friggin' feel like it. Like literally, like this is the upgrade I've asked for. And I think, and the fact that they're showing up, and that I've seen them off the coast of Chile, and I've seen them even in other places. I looked around Japan, I looked around as far up as I can go, like Russia back there and stuff. So they're here. So what are they here for? Well, it'd be great to know that they're here on my request, or something to that effect. My request happens to be in alignment with what God's doing, or whatever the case may be. But it talks about the army of God, and I think that makes sense. So here's the army of God, and not only that, guys, but there's some crazy nuances about the Bible, which I believe was written essentially from the imposter God, but that doesn't mean that there's not. So there's a lot of intelligent information in the scripture, but that doesn't mean that people, like, people practice black magic and they can see the future and shit like that, but it doesn't mean it's accurate. It means they shouldn't be meddling with. But anyway, so like my name in gematria is 623, so Hebrew 623, and I think and then Greek 623. Both of them are like Apollyon and God down, like the leader of the locusts. So apparently in the story, it's trying to suggest that I'm the guy that comes to fuck shit up for God, okay, against the people. But I'm not here to fuck shit up. I'm just here to fuck their shit up if the fuckers. The good people don't have to worry about anything. But yeah, God's not leaving us in the middle of nowhere just to fend for ourselves with these digital aliens that are trying to kill the analog world. Nope. God didn't leave us. God's got a purpose for all this. And that's the truth. So anyway, that's what I wanted to get, because I had seen those things. So that's pretty much all I wanted to get. So how are you this morning? I wonder if that's like the... And another thing, I have a reason to... I think we should be using the artificial intelligence to do more things than like make sex robots and video games. It's all penny pinching crap. It's what it is. The genetic information is fraud. The reproduction information is fraud. They're using the artificial intelligence for wrong reasons. They're talking about databases and making us feel like it's meant. No. That's because they're planning on their purpose for databases is not what we want it to be. They're siphoning energy out of us, and I have every reason to believe that we're all chipped. Everyone who's been born since like 1970 something, chipped. Semiconductors, we're talking, they've been monitoring. I found the information that's associated to me, and I happen to know that I have a specific novelty gene, but whatever the case may be, I found the information that shows I'm chipped. We're talking hormone secretions, if I'm walking straight, literally. Okay, so now imagine that, all this information on X they're trying to talk about. Energy dominance, that's creepy. Clean coal, what are they talking about? Sounds to me like they're siphoning our actual energy, and that they're in secrecy. And monetizing it, and then treating us like, fat, debt, lazy, not want to work. They talk shit on us all day long, and they're spending our energy and our biometrics so that they can fabricate a digital twin world. Because once they're done fabricating it, then they want to push destroy. It's like the hatred, it's the dark energy that wants to compete with God and create a world for it to be God of, so that it can destroy the one that God is God of. And it's foolish. It's absolutely foolish. But that's what they're working on. We're talking the men of the world and the men of the world and their wives, the people who are promoting this world, this technology advancement and all this money markets. That's the devil, quote unquote. That's the dark energy. That's not the real God. And we're not supposed to make digital twins. We don't have to. We've got a real world. So why do they don't want to do that? Because it's a dark lord that wants to be the master of something, but wants us to be the slaves, wants to enslave our souls. And I found the patent information. It's not a joke. I'm not joking. I'm not making things up or talking tall tales. I got evidence of it. And it's tied to my family too. So my controversy when the story breaks is going to be the biggest headline of all time. This is the case, God's case against the people. They have unjustly enriched themselves trillions of dollars. They've kidnapped my child. They've sexually battered out the tissue for me. They've mapped the whole human genome on me and lied. They said that it came from a male. No, it didn't. They called it a molar pregnancy that had only paternal information. No, it wasn't. It was all my information. They don't like women. They don't like women, especially that are born with a Y chromosome. Why? Because it proves that God created a being that can parthenogenerate, doesn't need male fertilization. They don't want that information out there. And that's why they tried to kill me and keep trying to kill me. But God keeps protecting me. So they're realizing that they can't accomplish their evil tricks and tactics, even though they think they're untouchable. Because they got all the power, and they got all the enforcement, they got all the fraud system data in their the fraudulent data in their system at large. That's what they think that they're untouchable for. But God keeps saving me, and God keeps leading me to find information that they keep trying to scrub. Talk about divine justice. Yeah, you better believe it. And when it finally happens, it's going to be like, this woman stood on her own. Oh my God, don't even get me started. How many times I have faced death and literally in the nick of time. I tell you, this is the end days, but it's not the end of days for forever. It's talking about the closing of a timeline and the beginning of a new one. So it's not the end of the world, but it is for a lot of the dark energies that are here. They're going to get disintegrated. Their energy doesn't qualify to make it into the gates, which is why they're going to go away. Are people going to get raptured? I don't know. I mean, I saw a cloud last night that looked like it had like it tried to make the design of a human, like entering into a hole. I'm like, are you trying to tell me I'm supposed to go outside and like get sucked up into your cloud or something? Because I'm not even ready. That's terrible to say, but I mean, it's true. There's people talking about this religious stuff, but they don't seem to be taking it seriously. Like, if people actually think that there's going to be a rapture, then they should be talking about it. Like, well, what do you think it's going to look like, and where do you think the communication is going to come from? Up above us. Okay, so I mean, why isn't anybody talking about anything for real, for real? It's because it's all bullshit. People know that the religion is telling lies through its teeth. God wouldn't, the creator has an only begotten son. Well, first of all, they don't want to recognize that. How does the creator have children? Through a woman. Hello. And you're going to try to tell me that God wants you to slaughter his only begotten son so that you, the sinner, can be forgiven. Not even our legal system works like that. So that's fucking insanity. But that's what a psychopath would say. That's exactly what a psychopath would say. God wanted me to do it. Okay, you're a psychopath. That's not God. That's the fucking devil. So I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, so if that's what the Abrahamic religions believe is God's will, then what's Satan's will? And it was like, Satan's, I go, well, then what's the deceiver doing? If that's God's will, then what's the deceiver up to? Oh, the deceiver's trying to convince people not to accept the crucifixion. No, you fucking psychopath's accomplice. No, that's not true. So the deceiver is trying to deceive people from accepting the crucifixion. No, that's exactly what a psychopath would tell you. And that would make them both be working together, because that would make the deceiver validating God's crazy bullshit. That they're so backwards. It's just not even funny. It's just not even funny. And you can't make three, and don't even get me started on the whole religious thing, but I'm looking forward to the necessity of having that debate in front of the entire world. Yeah, that's all right. There's like 75% of the whole population, according to the numbers, believe in an Abrahamic religion. Catholics, Jewish, and Muslim are Abraham again. That's not even like, in the beginning, God made heaven and earth. I can't wait. I can't wait to have it, because this is bullshit. And they're trying to get us to believe that they've had debates about this for thousands of years and it's just stayed open-ended. Yeah, right. That's bullshit. Come on, we're not that stupid, but they think we are. I think it's absolutely disgusting. I think it's embarrassing for them. And that's why I look forward to doing it. Not because I have any vendetta, not because of any other reason. Now, the truth be told is, I find it very foul that they exploit spirituality in such foul lies and ways to try to what? Well, because man wanted a slave servitude. He wanted her to be undermined. He wanted to be the one that was important because we've got the woman they don't. So they wanted to turn her into a nothing burger. They wanted to turn her into a slave. They wanted to turn her into a better listen to your husband. And so that's why he turned himself into God. Even though child is the God on the land, and mother is the one who births God's child, so man feels irrelevant. And the truth of the matter is that God's creation was the divine female on earth. And it was intended to happen this way, but that's because man's ego got another opportunity to try to make it into the gate. But it doesn't happen often. I mean, to my knowledge, it hasn't happened. This is a 232 million year orbit, guys. Humanity hasn't seen this. This is the end of a timeline and the beginning of the next. No joke. So we're not supposed to be getting caught up with digital and technology advancements. By the way, they're all lies and fraud anyway. Their goals are evil, but just so you know, it doesn't come to pass. So, what do the people need to know? The people need to know the truth. It would make more sense if our scientists said things accurately, like, as far as we know, right? We don't have any evidence of alien life as far, but we know that there's so many worlds out there in the cosmos that to suggest that there wasn't other life would make us look stupid. So I think it would make them sound a whole hell of a lot smarter. That's interesting. That is really interesting that it's getting bigger like that. I think it would make them sound a whole hell of a lot smarter if they said something like, well, we don't have evidence of any, life living on any other planet or whatever, but that's just yet. We just don't have it yet. Obviously it's there. We just don't have the evidence of it yet. That would make them sound smart. So they lose credibility. They lose credibility with their bullshit claims. That's what it is. Ooh, that's cool. This. Wow. See, I told you. Like, is that a boat? Okay, sure. But see, it's pointing at me. I do. I take it all personally, and I've got to. It's because the light is living, and I've actually seen it. I've been at a camera, looking at Japan. That's 16 hours ahead of us, and I've scooted it back like anywhere in the middle of these 12-hour streams, and it spelled my name in the sky. At the time that I come to it, like, are you kidding me? And I'm not kidding you. It's done it. That's God's living light communicating that it's timeless, and this camera thing is just a medium to communicate through. Okay? What are you doing? It's interesting the way that little red light dot comes in, but it's not like it's a red dot from my camera. I'm taking a picture of what the camera is showing, but interesting. I'll just say that it's interesting. Yes. Oops. Oh, it's good. Excuse me. That's weird. I feel like I just got an allergic reaction or something. I wouldn't be surprised actually if that's true. If exposing myself to this light. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, it doesn't mean anything bad. The body knows what the fuck it's doing. Oh, go ahead, listen to these genetic scientists. Yeah, they're telling us they mapped the human genome on 20 different people. And they rely on that information to diagnose children, for example, with SMA. What's that? Spinal muscular atrophy. Yeah, they tell you that your child has these markers for these hereditary diseases, and therefore your child's going to suffer from breathing issues. From it might not be able to walk. Okay, so now a new mother with a baby. She's got a brand new infant, and anytime it breathes or coughs or cries, she thinks, "Oh no, it's the spinal muscular atrophy," and she believes that the child's going to suffer. So she sees it in the child. Oh no, it's the thing, and the child's not walking early enough. Oh no, it's not a disease. They just gave it to you with the placebo effect. And guess what the treatment costs? $2.1 million. $2.1 million. Fraud. $2.1 million. Yep. Now what happened? Well, they got the T2T. That was the second set of tissue that they stole from me and mapped the human genome from and lied about and said that it came from a male because they wanted to hide their fucking fraud. And so what happened? Well, they found, they got the long reads from it and they were able to complete gaps and find some overlays and see that there were some duplicates. And so did they call up the parents that all had diagnoses to call them back in just to see if they should... If they didn't actually have the markers? Of course not. No, because then that would prove that their science was fraudulent and that what gave the kid the symptoms was the diagnosis and the therapy itself. So that's how reliable the science is. That's how honest and ethical these scientists are, but they're not. It's all fraud. They can't be trusted. The science, the medical malpractice, they put false information in the notes. They've been trying to kill me. Why? Because they've already profited over tens of trillions of dollars in unjust enrichment that I've found already. That's when it turns out that I find out that they actually used my entire genome. I'm not kidding you. It even appears that they've used my genome to associate with, because they've chipped me, and that I've been training their fucking neural networks and shit. They've been stealing everything from me and my daughter. Because they're thieves. But they're not using the information for good. They're doing the swap. Then they're turning it around and claiming all of these diseases and stuff. No, they are so done. I don't know how, when, or who this story is going to break and how I'm going to get I will for myself and my daughter. And they are over. They're done. They're not going to have enough money in the world to pay back the restitution. There's not going to be enough places in the cells for these creeps. Everybody that's participated is a conspirator and liable for the judgment in full. Imagine that. There's actually they continue to conspire. They continue to try to kill me. They continue to try to ignore it. They continue to try me in circumstances where I'm basically a wireless prisoner. Everybody that's participated is a conspirator, and the judgment in full. We're talking the judgment's $1 trillion. So good luck for them. I hope they had the fun that they wanted while they were fucking around with me. How evil. Show it doesn't ever pay. Doesn't ever pay off to be a liar, to be a conspirator, to harass others, to believe anything the genetic scientists are saying. There are satanic people in this world. They're everywhere because they worship the devil, even though they call it God. They are killing. They are. Oh my God. There are so many satanic in every community. They sexually abuse children. They burn and kill children. They chase children. They have tunnel systems. You better believe. God is going to give me an army. We are coming after you, and you are getting taken out. That's my promise. And I'm glad to know that these men are so intimidated of a woman. Good. Good. They should be intimidated. Well, they should be intimidated of all their victims, but they just kill them all. That's why God's keeping me alive, because we're getting divine justice on this one. Where's it? Where'd it go? Oh. Does that look like a boat? Does it look like a boat? No, it doesn't look like a boat. But for all we know, it is. I mean, I don't... The purpose of it is just investigate. All right. I've had enough fun for the morning. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy your Saturday. May tonight's Saturday Night Live be funny.